Yes. Uh-huh. Mhm. You know, I just wanted to remind the state of Washington, yes, that you're employing certain people as the plaintiff versus myself. Yes. Now, this is known as the state's response to defendant's motion to dismiss. Yes. The state of Washington. Yeah. District Court of the state of Washington. Yeah. In and for the county of Jefferson. Now, today I sent a couple thousand emails. Yes. And it seems to me that some of the employees that are representing the state don't actually acknowledge the state of Washington's laws. Yes. They don't acknowledge the laws of the municipality of Seattle. No. And it's somewhat of a concern that this state really doesn't understand the liability of employing, yes, state of Washington. Every time it's your name as a state, when prosecuting any individual, yes, issuing any court order, you as the state are liable for what your employees do. Now, I sent an email, yes, today, yes, including numerous laws that are in the municipality of the city of Seattle. And this morning I explained, yes, that since it's probably the city that has the most residents, I think there's probably around 2 million of them, yes. If it was found out that the employees of the state of Washington right now are knowingly violating the laws of the city of Seattle, I would think they're liable. Now, these individuals called prosecuting attorneys, yes, Mr. Calgill, ooch, Mr. Nichols, right. You know, I was reading this that myself as the defendant, yeah, has had significant time to seek a remedy, yes, in regards to the order for protection, right? Section 9 of the order for protection specifically allows the defendant to seek review of the order, yes, upon motion at any time in Clallam County Superior Court, yes. That is my only remedy as a defendant when alleging due process violations in that underlying order for protection. Now, I'm thinking that this was italicized. Yes, yes, yes. As an employee of the state of Washington, I was informed that my remedy as a defendant, yes, when alleging due process violations, yes, in that underlying order for protection, yeah, it is not the state of Washington's responsibility in this matter to prove the underlying sufficiency and reasoning used by Brent Basden in signing an order for protection. Oh, such challenges, yeah, should go to the issuing court, not some other judge. Yes. Now, when looking at these laws, there's a few issues that I had with the state's response, the state of Washington. One, yes, I wasn't in Sequim, Washington. I was in Port Angeles. Oh, see, this idea of me as the defendant, if he does. I'm telling you, Calgill, you're going to prison. You're going to fucking prison, Calgill. Now, I was sleeping at the Serenity House on December 31st of 2015. Yes. I was on the bus that morning. Yes. There was no possible way that I was in Sequim, Washington. Correct. But you decided to refuse to dismiss the traffic citation against me because you represent the state of Washington. Now, when I'm explaining to the state executive branch, legislative branch, and the Supreme Court justices of the state of Washington that as the defendant, I had informed the Port Angeles, Sequim, and Port Townsend police departments on November 15th of 2015 that my due process rights were being violated. Yes. Instead of doing what the law requires in that enforcing the civil rights of myself, the minors named, yes, and the petitioner, they decided to make up a bogus crime right now. Have me put in jail, yes, because they refuse to acknowledge the due process violations in that underlying order for protection. Oh. Now, this was issued for 10 years. The court, yes, as we were reading about the instructions, it's 1 year at a time when you have minor children in common. Now, I have informed the police departments 100,000 times right now. And their thought was, well, we don't give a fuck about this guy. We've arrested him numerous fucking times. Now, I'm reminding the state of Washington that you are employing individuals, yes, that say that they're representing the state, yes. Now, this idea of alleging due process violations in that underlying order for protection, I had informed, yes, Squim, Port Townsend, and Port Angeles. The petitioner did not sign it. Now, you know what I did? I printed these off so that I could have them in PDF so that we could read them together. Now, for the idiot functions right now that are employed in the police department, you have an obligation to enforce the civil rights of American citizens. Do you understand that? Now, I wasn't in Squim. I wasn't in Brennan. I wasn't cyber stalking. I spent the last 3.5 years informing you of what the law says. Now, Mr. Cowgill is the one that arranged for me to have the mental health evaluation? Yes. Well, malicious harassment, forgery, pooh. Did you get the email today, police department? See, when you use the name of the state as representing the employees of the state, this idea a person is guilty of forgery, if with intent to injure or defraud, he or she attempts to. Yes, excuse me. Now, this injuring of myself and my family and the defrauding of the United States of America, yes, of what is known as a legitimate court order. I've never had any problems motioning a court that has protected my civil rights. I've had a problem motioning a court that violates them. Now, let's look at it, state of Washington, because you're employing, yes, Mr. Cowgill, yes, Mr. Nichols, okay, 7th day of March of 2016, yes, you're employing prosecuting attorneys that are saying that they represent the people of the state of Washington. Now, this 15 years as an accessory, 15 fucking years. When you, as employees of the state, represent the state in federal violations of hate crimes and civil rights, I can sue every fucking cop right now.